My name is Dilip Thakur. I'm the editor of Education World.
I'm Professor Chandrabhushan Sharma. I teach at the School of Education, Indira Gandhi National Open University.
Hi, I am Uma. I'm a IIT Delhi alumnus. I'm an educator, teacher trainer, and a curriculum writer. And above all, I think I'm a homeschool parent.
So I am the CEO of Ascend International School. We're a school in Mumbai, and we're an international baccalaureate or an IB school.
I felt that, one of the reasons why India is not doing well, somewhat belatedly I discovered, that it's because our education system, which goes to the root of everything, wasn't good. So this is why I ventured into education journalism. So I think this pandemic has severely disrupted education, and but at the same time, it's presented us, an opportunity to make a radical shift in the type of education that we've been delivering to our children. As I'm sure all of you are aware, India's education system is one of the most backward in the world, and the vast majority of our fellow citizens are not at all well educated. About 300 million of them are illiterate. So obviously the education system thus far has failed, and they say you should never waste a crisis. So we should convert it into an opportunity to really transform Indian education. So while it's a disruptor, it's also an opportunity.
As far as COVID-19 is concerned, I believe good Corona came. I'm happy we had COVID-19. We learned that spoon feeding in education would not work. We have been saying for a long time, learning to learn. And that was the mission of schools. We never did it. And it's lifelong education. How do we do that without training the students, without training teachers? No school teacher ever did distance education. No teacher ever practiced with online education. This is the time. 99%, that's the UNESCO report. 99% teaching learning is being done online today. How did the teachers learn now? How did they switch over? And they are doing it very well. We may have difference of opinion about duration and the way they are teaching, but they're all doing it. Within a week, they learned it. This is the future. This is going to be the new normal.
Education has, to a very great extent, has been learning at home. That's how I look at it. The pre-industrial era was a small community learnings where skills were nurtured, and to a very great extent, parents were the people who were the skill enablers for the children. Then came the industrial era where schools emerged. But I think a child would have spent about 6 hours in school. I think the rest of the learning happened at home. So I feel over 60% learning actually happened at home, and we as parents and mentors have guided our children. The information era is going to be about distance learning, is going to be about learning through home. Why? Because I feel the kind of skills we need to nurture in children, the 21st century skill framework which it talks about, is all about things which school has to take time to really evolve, make learning much more richer. So I feel learning at home, that's what I would say, it's a school at home and not homeschool, because it's not 100% parent need not be involved. You could have remote resources which can be used. We can have various kind of courses, Coursera, everything blended into the home. I think your child will be much more richer. School becomes just one part of your remote learning mode. So I think COVID has actually opened up umpteen opportunities for homeschoolers like us. So I am pretty happy about that.
From the time the lockdown started to when teachers went to teach online, it was a very short amount of time for everyone to adjust to that. And I think I've actually heard this analogy from someone else that it's almost, for us at least as a school, it felt like we were flying an airplane and building that same airplane at the same time while we were in the air. So that's sort of my sort of one sentence analogy for how we got into this COVID situation. And I think having said that, it's been an interesting journey for us. I think all online models of education are looking at how they can be more student centered, how we can actually engage students online. I think that's where this is going to go. Like I think everyone's been saying before me as well, is that it will be a blended model. It won't be a purely brick and mortar model. I think a lot of the tools we've learned in this online model right now will be used when we go back to school in the school building to a physical classroom space as well. And I think that's been the biggest takeaway for us from the situation, is that there were lots of tools available. We've now gotten familiarized with them and using them, and we'll continue to use them when we go back to a physical schooling environment as well. So I still have hope that we will go back to a physical schooling environment. But I think the tools we've learned right now will definitely help us all, I think, move ahead and make learning more engaging for all of our students.